All right, we're back. It's the new. And guess what? We're talking about relationships today. I'm here with my little baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hi.
This is my girl, Michaela. 6 months in.
Yeah.
Married.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, they should like zoom in on my face right there.
Oh.
Anyways, all right, I want to have a little bit of fun first. Have a little bit of fun, ask a couple questions. The first question I have is, who is your favorite TV romance? I think I know who it is, but I want you to share with me.
Honestly, I had to do a little research because I was like, favorite TV romance? Like, what do you even mean?
Oh, man.
So, honestly, the first people who came up, I was like, oh, wait, yeah, that's my TV romance. So,
Yeah, go ahead. Go.
Wait, what
go.
are you doing?
Go. I was going to say it at the same time. But anyways.
Lorelai and Luke from Gilmore Girls.
Oh, no, I wasn't
They're
gonna
my
say that.
favorite, just tried and true. Just, they didn't get together at first, and then they finally got together. It was just like, perfect. Let's go.
Yeah.
What about you?
My favorite TV romance is obviously Jim and Pam from The Office.
Oh, yeah.
This is it. Like, they're the greatest, and they're like so wholesome and good, and I love them. Like,
And their proposal, is kind of crazy.
it was pretty crazy. That's how I proposed to you. Remember? Totally joking. Not at all.
not true.
Okay. Second question. When was the first time you thought a boy was cute?
Ooh, okay. It'll
Me?
be a girl for you.
Huh?
It'll be a girl for you.
Well, yes. Yeah. That makes sense.
Honestly, he rode my bus, and I never knew his name. I never talked to him.
Okay.
I honestly just fantasized about like having a crush on him. So you never knew.
About having a crush on him.
Yeah, like I had a crush on him. But I
So
just-
you fantasize about having a crush on
okay,
him.
whatever. But had a crush on the guy that rode the bus with me.
Okay, cool. Well, my first crush, a girl, right, was in elementary. I will not say her name. She might be listening. Who knows? Lord knows. But she was like really fast. I remember that about her. She was from the Philippines, and she was really cool. And I remember one day I brought a Sunkist. I snuck a Sunkist to lunch, and I gave her a Sunkist so that she would be my girlfriend. And so she was my girlfriend for the day. And she said, okay, I'll be your girlfriend for a day. And I gave her a Sunkist. And for me, I was in the long haul. I was like, this is only the foot in the door. Like, now I'm going to marry her. I'm going to treat her so well. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, after today, things are going to be so much better. I'm going to be in elementary with a girlfriend. And we went to recess right after lunch, and nothing changed.
Oh,
So
poor little Samuel.
I kind of got gypped because I took a big risk getting that Sunkist.
Yeah, we couldn't have soda at school, so
Oh.
took a big risk.
That's weird. Anyways, yeah, so that was my first crush. Okay, favorite rom-com. Oh, this is good.
Honestly, anything in the 80s or 90s. I love Clueless, Pretty in Pink, all those. I couldn't pick a favorite, honestly, because
Okay.
80s movies are my jam.
Uh-huh,
I just love it. So
Yeah.
cheesy, so good.
Yeah. For me, that was kind of a setup, not gonna lie, because you know how I feel about rom-coms.
I do know how you feel.
You do know, she's looking down. Yeah, recently I've come to a new revelation, and no shame to anybody who loves rom-coms, but I just feel like personally, for relationships, they don't paint the best picture of a good Christian relationship. And I said one time in one of my messages here at Authentic, be careful what you praise. And sometimes like the movies push us to praise them like having an affair, or like, oh, I was dating this person, now I'm dating this person, or like having sex and they're not even married, and you're like, ah, yay, they're together. And it's like, whoa, hold up, like turn, nope, that's not right. And so recently, since we've been married, I've been like so troubled. I'm like, oh, I don't want to watch rom-coms. And so she knows I never watch rom-coms anymore. It's not because I'm a guy, not because I like action movies. I just don't feel like they really capture it. So anyways, that leads us to relationships, what we're talking about today. Relationships are complicated. They're not easy, but we're going to be talking about being single, dating, married, all of these things, give some advice, tell what scripture, what Jesus thinks about it. So I just want to get right into it. We've been married for 6 months now. We got off of our honeymoon right away. The world was in a totally different state than it was when we left, and everything was shut down. So we get back from California, everything's shut down, everything has changed, and now we're stuck at home alone, right? So talk to me, how are you feeling? I already know how you're feeling, but tell them, how are you feeling a little bit about that period of our relationship?
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely a different situation than what we expected coming home to.
for sure.
It was like, okay, like we're just gonna adapt and overcome and we're gonna make it happen, we're gonna make it good. And we did. I was just so proud of how we used our time effectively, and we used it to lay the foundation for our marriage of spending time together. We were quarantined together, we had to spend time together, but I think it was just such a good foundation for us to have at the beginning of our marriage. Most people don't get that. Most people have to go straight to work, straight to their lives again, and they forget, oh wait, I have a spouse, I have to spend time with them. So this is honestly like a gift from God that we got to have this quarantine time. We looked at it as a positive thing for us. And I think at first it was scary, but I think looking back on it now, I'm like, thank God. Like, this was so good.
I think it was really powerful for all those reasons right there, but just kind of add on to that, it really gave us an opportunity to set some habits that we wanted, because we were doing them every single day. Like there were habits we did every single day, whether it was working out, whether it was eating healthy, whether it was reading the Bible together. Like we were able to set those habits without any other things, any other portions of life getting in the way of that. And so I think that they've really transcended, even as we've been moving out of the state of having to be at home and quarantined and all those different things like that. And so I thought it was really good for us. So let's talk about being single. This is a tricky one, right? This is really tricky because most of the people that are single that I know are wanting and longing to be in a relationship, and a lot of them are confused and like, hey, am I supposed to be in a relationship? Am I not supposed to be in a relationship? Enjoying singleness, whatever else. So I want to talk a little bit about it, but I want to get straight to it. I want to talk about commitment. I want to talk about the cultural norm that we don't put labels on anything. And I kind of want to start off by talking about how you felt about getting married and being in a relationship before, and was your heart longing and were you really, really wanting to be in a relationship before you and I got in a relationship?
Yeah, I think for me personally, I was never the type to be like, I'm longing, I need it, I'm obsessed with the idea of marriage, like I have to have it in my life. I think I was more along the lines, I thought about it, I dreamed about it, like every girl dreams about their wedding and being with their future spouse and everything, but it was more, I wasn't worried about dating at the time. I was like, I'm just gonna live my life. In high school, I had such high standards for the guys that I would date. So I honestly just didn't date in high school. I was kind of just observing, looking at my friends' relationships and thinking, oh, I don't want that. I don't want that.
So like, true.
Yeah, honestly.
So true.
So I think the high standards that I had, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna not date in high school. That was the decision I made, and I'm honestly thankful for it. Sam is my first boyfriend. Like, praise God for him. He was such a good boyfriend. And I went on a couple of dates, but it wasn't like I'm dating all the time kind of thing. But never a real boyfriend or anything.
I think definitely when I got to high school, I lost weight, right? Before I was like super chubby and so I had really low self-esteem and no girls were looking at me at all. I was not good looking at all. So then I get to high school, I lose a little bit of weight, I start working out, I'm more fashionable. And so now I start getting attention. And so I think that kind of onset like the need for attention from a relationship or talking to a girl or dating a girl and going on dates and different things like that. And I think the dating time was a very vulnerable place for me. I think it is for a lot of people, very vulnerable to be dating. Not dating, but single and wanting to date because of two reasons. The first reason is because I found myself feeling dependent upon having a relationship or having someone there who wanted to talk to me or who wanted to text me after I got off of school or just a companion, someone who actually was thinking about me when I wasn't thinking about them. And so I found myself being very dependent on that. And so I would search for it in all the wrong places and with the wrong kind of people. Even though I knew my standards, even though I knew what God was calling me to, I found myself in a vulnerable state. And because of that, I made some bad decisions sometimes. And I think the second reason why I felt really, really vulnerable was because of media. Media and everything around us is telling us be in a relationship, have a girlfriend, have a boyfriend. We're seeing so many TV shows about it. Every single TV show is centered around a relationship. And so media and TV and shows and entertainment was all pushing me in that direction and making me feel like, am I behind? Like, am I not good enough? Like, what's wrong with me? And so it left me at a kind of a hurt and vulnerable state. And so I really worked through that. And it wasn't until I had worked through that and I said, okay, I'm no longer going to date anybody for a period of time that actually I found you, which was really a God thing. It was really powerful. So I want to move on to dating. because we did long distance, but immediately right off the bat, I made it very clear that I liked you, that I wanted to date you. It was like, we talked for a couple of months and we texted, and then I was just like, hey, I like you. What's up? Do you like me? And it was like very primitive. It was like a child saying this to another child. And it's like, I just was done with all of the, let's run around and maybe send a little text and think about it and all that stuff like that. And so we were straight to it. What do you think about labels? What do you think about commitment in this generation, in this culture, and the trends that are going on right now?
Yeah, I think defining the relationship is so important, but I think our society's kind of lost sight of that. I think we have been so caught up in, I'm just talking to this person, or I'm just with this person. It's complicated relationship status. And I think that is something we should be far away from, because it's so dangerous and it's so hurtful and it's not encouraging at all. And I think, honestly, like I said, I'm so about defining the relationship, because you know what's expected of you and you know what you're expecting of the other person, which is so important. Like, expectations are so important. And then I wrote down, like, the Lord kind of gave me this, like, you're going to hurt yourself even more if you're not defining the relationship. You're going to hurt yourself even more. And that is just, I don't want to hurt myself. So I loved that we defined our relationship so early on. I was like, that's what I tell everyone now. I'm like, define that relationship. Like, know what you're working towards. Know the goal. I think it's so important. And I like how you say you're going to hurt yourself even more. I think one of the big fears is that you're going to get hurt if you actually define the relationship, or you actually say, hey, I like you, and you actually say those words, or hey, I want to date you. There's room for disappointment, for hurt, for pain, and all the other things. And so I think that that's kind of where the enemy has us. He's like, no, just keep it ambiguous. Like, just keep it out there. But here's what I know about our God, and just how I've modeled, talking with you and dating you, is like, the Lord was very clear about what he wanted. He wanted us. And so he sent his son to die on a cross because he loved us so very much. He didn't sit around saying, well, we can talk for a little bit. Like, let's see about it. Let's flirt with the idea about it. He's like, no. I'm sending my whole entire son. That level of commitment. I mean, knowing that we were going to, at some point, turn our backs on him and disobey him and leave him and not want anything to do with him and choose other things over him. Even in the midst of all of those things, he still loved us. While we were sinners, he sent Jesus, his son, to die on the cross for us. And I think that that's just really the model for me. And that's why I encourage people, hey, that's what it's going to take. And if you don't feel like you can be straightforward with someone, maybe you shouldn't be with them. Maybe you shouldn't be talking to them. Maybe you guys shouldn't be going any deeper than this if you're feeling afraid to actually speak up and say how you're feeling.